The feeling of just, I like the feeling of my balls being full. I like the feeling of having a full girthy cock. Check out the Male Advantage paperback, ebook and audiobook using the links below. Okay guys, welcome back to another video. This video I want to revisit NoFap porn masturbation. It's something that I started doing like 7-8 years ago. And I often forget it exists because I've got a strategy which I'll explain in this video. And I just forget how powerful it really is until occasionally when I meet somebody and I'm talking about, oh, I don't masturbate, I don't watch porn and whatever, and we're just blasé through it. And they'll be like, you what? And then they'll describe to me, or in another scenario, they'll describe to me, oh, I just can't get up in the mornings, I feel depressed, life isn't going well, I feel like this. And I'm like, oh, I remember that. I'm like, do you watch porn and masturbate? Do you know what I mean? Oh, of course I do, mate. Doesn't everybody? I'm like, oh, and I explain it to them and tell them what's going on. And it opens my eyes again to how crazy NoFap porn masturbation, all this stuff kind of is. And, you know, to tell the truth, okay, to really think about it, I think NoFap might be the most important thing in men's self-improvement, men's lifestyle. I think with it, it has a giant ripple effect into all the other areas of your life. I think without it, it's hard to even get going. It just kills you with your momentum, with your desire to want to get up in the morning and do things and accomplish things. I think it might be the most important thing in men's self-improvement. So I just kind of wanted to give you my tips for beating porn, okay? Because I just think it's so destructive. I think when you are watching porn and you're masturbating, I remember from when I was younger, I just didn't ever want to do anything. I just felt destructive. I'd see somebody succeed and I'd be like, yeah, but it's probably, but I'd make an excuse. I'd see a beautiful woman and I'd be like, she's probably a hoe, she's probably, but you're when you're not doing it, your brain just changes, it resets, it starts to see stuff in a positive light. It's really weird. I don't obviously you guys are doing it too, but you know, I guess you lot can relate. But seeing people that aren't doing it, that I have a conversation with, whatever, that I friends of mine that I see at the gym or whatever, and the issues that they talk about and the way that they react to things, and oh yeah, I just fucking I can't be bothered. Yeah, this happened, this, and I'm like, wow, I recognize that. That rings a bell from how I used to be in the past. It's really eye-opening, like I said. So I need to make more videos on this. I'll definitely do a NoFap. Well, I can't call it NoFap because you get sued, because that's an actual, as Hamza also found out, same as me, is actually owned as a name. I'd be able to do a semen retention anti-porn documentary or something like that. I think that would be pretty cool. But my tips for beating porn, okay guys? So as number one, many of you have heard me say this before, don't count the days. I made loads of content for the NoFap subreddit years ago, and I was saying don't count the days, because I almost feel as though when you're counting the days and you're staying in this trap, it's always on your mind. And the NoFap community, they obviously don't want you to leave because they're benefiting. You know, why would an organization want to cure you? There's no profits in that. There's no money in that. So they want you to count the days to keep you trapped, to be like, oh, I hit my highest streak. No, it should just become a lifestyle. Okay, why would the NoFap owners, the community, etc. want you to arrive, find NoFap, and go, oh, cheers guys, see ya, and quit? They want you to be counting the days. Oh, I hit my best streak, I relapsed. Just get that shit out of your mind, okay? I have no fucking idea what number I'm on. I haven't counted the days for years, okay? I could probably make an estimate in years, but I don't really care, because what I did is I made it part of my lifestyle. I was like, I want to be one of those men who just sees it as disgusting, who just wouldn't do it. It's just not an option. I always pictured James Bond, and I was like, can I imagine actual Daniel Craig? I was like, can I imagine him at home pulling his trousers down and just I wouldn't want to imagine that, but can I picture him doing that? Can I picture him at his screen just fucking jacking off? I was like, probably not. He's probably too high level for that. And I was like, so why would I do it? Doesn't really make sense, does it? I can't picture top level men doing it. I can picture them going out into the world and actually finding a real woman, or women are just coming to them so often that they're like, yeah, sure, come around tonight. And they're finding that they don't have to. So that was my first tip, guys, okay? So just don't count the days, because when you count the days, I feel like you get stuck in a trap. And you also reward yourself. It's like with diet, okay? If you've had like a solid month eating clean and then somebody said, do you want a beer and a bit of cake? You might be like, yeah, I've been eating good for a long, long time. It's okay with diet because you can kind of just jump back on. It's only one meal. You can do the next meal can be clean. You can go to the gym. It's okay. It doesn't derail you. But with porn and masturbation, one single relapse and it's not the end of the world. Of course not. You can just jump back on and go again, you know, but at the same time, it does fuck you up for like 3, 4, 5, 6 days, okay? It's hard to like get back in that rhythm. You lose something, you feel shit, and then you're going, damn, I need to get my like 30-day streak back up. And that, psychologically, I don't like that. I think it should be, you lose that streak, but you didn't know how many days it was anyway, because it's part of your lifestyle, and then you just jump back on, and now you're back in that lifestyle. Because otherwise you're like, I can't wait to get back to 30 days. I felt great at 30 days. You feel as though it's almost like a bar that's charging. Oh, at 5 days, I'm nowhere near me at 15 days. You know, at least you should just be like, I'm a certain person who just doesn't do it. I occasionally fuck up or relapse, but I'm the type of person who just doesn't do it. That's my mindset. I'm going to get straight back onto that mindset rather than I need to get back to the day. Otherwise, you're just wasting like 15 days before you reach your old target. And then, like I said, you reward yourself. Like you hit 16 days and you go, oh, that's my highest ever. I can relapse. Do you see what I mean, guys? I don't think it's a good idea, okay? So my second tip is very fitness based. So if I'm ever feeling like I read a book and it was to do with willpower. I think it was actually called Willpower. I read this a few years ago. And the way that they describe willpower, they've done studies on this. It shows that it's almost like a battery. Your willpower in your brain is almost like a battery. So you have a certain amount that you can use every single day. And if you don't sleep properly, let's say you get 5 hours of sleep, your willpower, they found, was lower. You're more likely to like give in to cravings and all this other shit, right? So with that being said, I found a trick years ago that anytime, it almost works on the same basis. Like if you want to cheat on your diet, if you want to masturbate, if you want to watch porn, if you're feeling weak and you want to take a day off and watch a film, it's like the same thing. I figured out that I had the same feelings from everything and I could scratch that itch through any of those means. So I was like, what's the worst out of those? I was like, well, I don't want to watch porn, I don't want to masturbate, it fucks me up, it derails me, I don't want to do that. Okay, so that's the worst one. I found whenever I got like low and I was like, I really want to do this, I'm horny as fuck, I'm not seeing a woman for like a week, I found that if I went and had like a piece of cake, a pizza, if I went and had like a burger or something like that, or something I really shouldn't have been eating, or if I watched a movie and had like a sugary cup of tea, okay, which is something I never do. So for me, it's like a treat because my dopamine levels are so reset. They're at such a normal level that having like a sugary cup of tea was just like golden to me. It just really helped me out. And I would just watch a movie and have a cup of tea and those cravings would go away because my body just wanted something. Do you know what I mean, guys? It just needed to scratch that pleasure itch in one way or another. And that's all it is. Your body's seeking pleasure. It wants pleasure all the time. It wants to avoid pain and go for pleasure. So you just replace porn and masturbation every time, every time you feel as though I'm really going to do this, okay? So I'm not saying every time you feel horny, you go and eat a piece of cake. That would be a nightmare, right? But you can go for like a walk. You can stay on top of it. Just have a bit of self-discipline, self-control. It's not always like 1,000,000% urge. You're not out of your brain going crazy thinking, fuck, I really want to do this. But like once a month, you get that situation, or once in 2 weeks you're like, I feel weak, I feel drained, I feel down, I feel depressed today, I think I could go upstairs and masturbate, that's just like the one thing that's going to get me out of this. I think then when you're in that mode where you're like, I'm genuinely going to do this, like you've convinced yourself, fuck it, I'm going to do it, or I can't resist anymore, go and do something pleasurable. Like just drive to a restaurant and go and have like the biggest dessert that they've got, because I guarantee you'll go, I feel okay now. Like it's almost as though that pleasure itch just gets scratched and you just go, that's it, I'm done. Okay, I don't need to go back there. So that's like a trick that I've been using for years, okay? And I almost tie it in with my cheat meals. I feel like my cheat meals keep me sane. I have them like once every week, once every 2 weeks, depending on how I feel. I kind of judge it based on my brain. If I'm like, I don't force myself, oh, it's cheat meal day. But if I'm just moving through life and I'm like, I feel like I'm going to make a bad decision on something, I'm going to spend $2,000 on something that I shouldn't spend $2,000 on. I'm going to just go and scratch that pleasure itch, and then I'm going to move forward with my life. And I find this just works so well, okay, guys? So my next tip is to leave your phone charging up downstairs in another room, just away from you when you go to sleep, okay? Because when you go to bed at night and you've got your phone in your hands, you're in a vulnerable position, okay? You could be naked, could be in your boxers, you're relaxed, your bed just breathes comfort. It just spells comfort, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? You're sat there, if you're a single man, there's no woman next to you, you're just sat in bed and you're just like, you know, kind of got a spare hand here. I'm on my phone. I've got access to social media. I've got access to porn. I've got access to all this shit. And things will spring up. You just go on Instagram, you'll see like 17 pairs of fucking tits within like the first 30 seconds. It's tough, okay? So I think once you go to bed, that should be nothing but sleep. Okay, you should leave your phone. What I do, I plug my phone in downstairs, charge it up. I leave it. And it allows me to go straight to bed. And then the most importantly, I think when you wake up in the morning, as men, our testosterone's high, you've got morning wood. That's the most tempting, I found. That was like the moment where I was like, it's cold, I don't really want to get up. I'm just gonna check social media. I'm just gonna look at a video. And then it creeps. You just don't, you know, you see a picture and you're like, she's looking good these days. Fuck. You know, and then it like steps onto another level and then you're like, I messed up. But if your phone's downstairs, here's what happens, right? You kind of wake up and you're like, I got morning wood, I'm proper fucking horny. You sit there and you're like, but I've pretty much got nothing to look at. I can't check my phone. I'm bored, I'm getting up, right? So you just get straight up within like the first 20, 30 seconds. So you stroll downstairs, pick up your phone, you check the day, what's going on. You're on your feet at that point. So you're like, well, I'm not going to then go walk back up into bed or like sit on the sofa or whatever and like go and do something. You know, I'm going to eat, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to start ticking proper boxes. And I just think it's that hardest part of the day. I think once you can get past that and you can leave your phone plugged in downstairs or something, it's a great way to get decent sleep because of the anti-blue light and all this sort of shit as well. It's, you know, you don't want that before bed. But in terms of NoFap, it's one of the greatest weapons you can have, okay? Now, my final tip is to have a reason why. Now, your reason why could be anything. It could be to make your relationship better. It could be to finally find a woman. You know, you could be 25 and a virgin and you'll think to yourself, this has got to stop. I've got to do something about this. Like, my life can't keep going this way. I feel like a fucking loser. I have to do something. That's a big motivating factor, guys, okay? For me personally, in the early days of NoFap, it was really difficult for me because I'm 29. When I found it, barely anybody was doing it. Nobody knew what it was. I've had people to this day tell me, I thought you were weird when you used to speak about it. Now I do it myself. It's the best thing I've ever done. I was like, I'm just doing it for the sake of doing it. I'm almost like a guinea pig. I'm just testing. Whereas as I got older and other guys started to do it, it became a massive reason why in my head. Because I was like, if they're doing it and I'm not, or if I'm not doing it as much as them, if I'm, you know, relapsing every week or two, they're moving ahead of me. They're becoming better than me. And that was kind of my reason. I was like, if I want to be a top level guy, if I want to sit at the top of society, if I want to get that top shelf fucking woman, if I want to get that, if I want to get like the best things in life, if I want to be the mature man, if I want to be productive, if I want that confidence, if I want, you know, to feel good about myself, if I want to have the best body language and all this shit, if I want to get up early in the morning and be successful and like conquer the day and have the best possible workout. So I was like, I can't be fucking around. So for me, it wasn't even to do with NoFap or whatever. It was more the lifestyle on who I was trying to become. And that reason why has stopped me relapsing probably like 1,000 times. The amount of times I've like woken up in the morning, you know, yeah, the phone might have been downstairs, whatever, but I'm horny as hell. You're sat there, your hands are warm, your penis is flooded with blood, and you're just kind of like under the sheets, and you're just like, oh, I could just, you know, and you weigh it up and you're like, no, because I want to go to the gym. I want to be a better man. I want to be at a top level. And I've kept photos of like top level men who are in like really good shape, who are well dressed, who have got like a great car, a beautiful woman. And I'm like, if I ever want to get to that level, if I ever want to compete with men like that, or the knowledge that men like that actually exist out there, I'm like, I can't be doing this because I'm just going to fall behind. And who's it going to impact? It's only going to impact me. No one else. Going to make my life worse, going to make me look worse, going to make life more difficult. And I'm all about those mini advantages. And I'll relay that whole thing in my fucking head, you know, or similar pattern. I like talk myself out of it. And then immediately, like, all the urges go away and it kind of transmutates into energy for the day. I'm like, okay, well, if we got all this energy, let's use it. Let's become that man. It's almost like the reason that stopped me then motivated me in a different manner to actually chase after it and go, okay, gym, let's get on with the day. And to be honest, guys, I'm going to throw in one more as well. The feeling of just, I like the feeling of my balls being full. I like the feeling of having a full girthy cock. Does anybody get that? Right? Like when you're, for example, I wear like short shorts in the gym. If I'm strolling around the gym and my penis is just like big and thick and it's just there, it's just sat in my boxers, I'm like, I feel good. I feel powerful. If it was all like fucking shriveled and whatever from masturbating too much and it's just doesn't feel right, I'd be like, that's weird. But I like all the blood flow going through it. Feel powerful, that sexual energy's there. When I like approach a woman, that sexual energy's running through me, my balls are tingling. I like that feeling. Sometimes I'll just be sat there, my balls are tingling, and all the energy is just running through my body, and you've just got like this strength to your voice. You just feel strong, you just got energy in your body. I like living with that feeling. I don't like the other side of the coin. You know, where I see guys who do masturbate and I can see it when I'm talking to them and they're like, yeah, I don't know, mate, yeah. They're like head down. I'm like, I don't want to be like that. It's kind of pathetic. I don't want to feel like that. I want to feel like big, strong, proud. Like I said, you just feel like you're there. Do you know what I mean? You're present. Like your whole body's just radiating energy. You're just a magnet to people around you. People want to talk to you. People see you as the alpha. Women are just like, you're just sat minding your own business and women just are circling you. Just like finding machines in the gym that are near you. They're trying to get your attention. You know, they're doing everything they can for you to see them. They're like bending over in front of you. Like they're just doing all this shit. And you're just like, yeah, I'm just drawing shit to me. My balls are tingling. My cock is just big and girthy. It's just sat there. It's ready to go at any fucking moment. If I end up pulling this woman, I'm going to take her home and I'm going to destroy her. It's just there. Do you know what I mean? It's inside you. If somebody wants to fight me, my aggression's full, my energy's full. I love that feeling. I love that feeling. I don't think anybody's ever described it like that before. But I love it. You just strut around so confidently. It's almost like, you know, female empowerment. When women are like, I just feel sexy. I'm going to get me a man. Like that sort of thing. It's the same, but in like the masculine energy sense. Like I'm here, I'm present, I've got all this energy, all this strength. Like my cock is there, my balls are vibrating. I'm just ready to go out into the world and just pummel in as many senses as you want. That's what it feels like to me. So once you've like felt that, you don't want to get rid of it because you just feel like a little fucking mouse. Okay, guys. So that's all my tips. I think that should help a lot of you guys to get through it all. And you know, it's going to fall off. It is like a big mindset thing more than anything. But those extra tips, like I said, to keep your phone downstairs, whatever. And probably the main one, which is like don't count the days, because when you don't count the days, the other things that I was talking about where it becomes like a lifestyle habit, this is just who I am as a man, that really helps. Okay, guys, it all like blends into one, and you get fed up. I made a video on this before, just become fed up with being a loser. Like that was a big part of it for me. I just became fed up with being a loser. I was like, this can't go on. I just need to be better. I want to do more with my life. I'm like, will I get to 40 years old and be like, thank God I watched all that porn and masturbated? Did I wait? How many years did I waste just doing that? You know, so I think rather than continuing, like if I'm horny in the moment and I'm like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to masturbate, let's get everything ready. Do you know what I mean? Rather than do that, I'd rather, like, my brain now stops and it goes, no, come on. Like, come on, who do you want to be? Have you got any respect for your fucking self? Like, come on, Chris. Right, especially like the brand that you own, like the message that you're putting out to people. No, you need to be a top tier man. And I'm like, yeah, of course, you fucking idiot. Like, it's a lifestyle. This is who you are. You don't masturbate. You don't watch porn. And I almost just talk myself out of it every single time. And I'm like, right, okay, well, let's go and use that energy. It's been working for me for years, guys. It's a foolproof system, in my opinion. It's just changed my brain completely. Like, even, it's given me, I was saying to Hamza the other day, it's almost impossible to resist sexy women. Like, beautiful, sexy women. It's almost impossible to resist them as a man. You know, but I think when you're doing NoFap and you've got that kind of calm masculine energy, it gives you the best kind of opportunity. It gives you the best chance. Like, you almost have more self-control the longer you do it. If that makes sense as well, guys. Okay, so good luck with everything. I hope a lot of you are, doing NoFap, because like I said at the start of the video, I think it is actually the most important thing for men's self-improvement, probably because it's the catalyst and it has the largest ripple effect alongside money over everything else. Okay, guys? Check out the Male Advantage paperback, ebook, and audiobook using the links below.